It will take us about an hour to dive into life on the island. And I'll tell you a little bit about myself, because later this video will be watched in English. In different languages, brokers and clients, that's why. My name is Oleg. I am the ambassador of Bluewaters. That's what I call myself. I've been living here on the island for 3 years, and I've sold 50 apartments for $170 million. Right now, I have 15 apartments on hand. And today I signed another deal, buying a new apartment. But at the same time, one of the apartments I wanted to show you has already been sold. Last night we made the contract and today it was confirmed. But I still always have some great properties in reserve, about 15 lots. And everything that comes to me, brokers are constantly sending me listings. I review the listings, and if I haven't bought an apartment, it's either because it has some complicated views or it's not that great. So I buy only the best that the island has to offer and make upgrades. We add new furniture, new appliances, create a cool interior, and then put it on the market. Well then, welcome to Bluewaters. Welcome to the island. And we'll start with some small details. Yes, I'll show you a lot of photos. Most of these photos are mine. I took them myself. Living on the island, some of the apartments, some just walking around the neighborhood. And of course, Bluewaters is famous for its Ferris wheel. It's called the Dubai Ain, and it's 210 meters tall. And it's the largest Ferris wheel in the world. It's currently operational. They launched it at the end. In 2024, it was relaunched. Before that, it hadn't been operating for 2 years. It started working at the beginning of 2021. Then, it stood still for a while. They were doing repairs, and now they've launched it. You can come back to the island to take a ride, but we'll be interested in something a bit different. This is what the island's logo looks like, created in 2018. There are 2 hotels on the island. And you can see on the left side these buildings, those are hotel buildings. There are 470 rooms. And 3 beach clubs. On the right side, you can see the residences. We have 10 buildings, and we'll take a detailed walk so you can see everything. And there are 670 apartments there. Also, on the island, there are 160 different shops, cafes, beauty salons, restaurants, and so on. And we will also study all of this in detail. The developer of the island is Miras. This estate developer, which is also controlled by Prince Bogdan, the future Sheikh of Dubai. Right now, he is responsible for many investment and innovation projects in the city. And here is a selection of my photos of various Miras projects. Honestly, if someone asked me who my favorite developer is, I would say it's Miras. Besides giving the city Bulgari, they also gifted this island with residences. Nearby, there are the Amalfi Villas. I have a couple of friends living there. I visited them. Recently, it just started, so he has already given up. Mars Al Arab, such a gigantic new complex with hotels where the apartments cost 40 to 50 million. A dirham is tens of millions of dollars. They also have a whole large area, Port de la Mer. It's a bit lower in class, but it also stands on the first line in a European style. Marina Jumeirah Living is next to Burj Al Arab City Walk, a new large area near downtown. Construction underway. These are my latest photos. There's a growing neighborhood with a new project named Central Park, but Bluewaters is the main project, and it's a convenient location. But Bluewaters for me is the main project, and it's a very convenient location. Here's a piece of the map. Dubai Marina in particular, and you can see that here you go. Well, there you go. From the island to the neighboring key locations, it takes about 30 minutes to get to Al Maktoum Airport, where, by the way, Emirates will soon move, and there will be the main hub, the largest airport in the world, accommodating 160 million passengers. Right now, only a few of the 12 terminals have been built, and Dubai, well, this part of the city will be actively developed. It's the main hub, the largest airport in the world, accommodating 160 million passengers. Only a few terminals out of 12 have been built there now, and Dubai, well, will actively develop this part out of the city, but it takes me exactly 30 minutes to get to the XB airport. I can go via Sheikh Zayed Road or take an alternative route. You can also go to the airport, Abu Dhabi. It's 45 minutes, well, 20 minutes to downtown, and to Dubai Marina, it's literally just a few minutes. 5-7. With all the infrastructure, but at Bluewaters, besides the fact that you don't have any traffic jams when entering, there's a separate road that goes underground, and you just dive down if you're a resident. And you find yourself in your underground parking under the island. There's a large underground parking lot, on the right for guests and on the left for residents, where you need a card. On the right side for guests and on the left for residents, you need a separate card. But there's also a pedestrian bridge, so it's a real island. Of course, there's a road leading to it, but on the right you can see a little pedestrian bridge, and we'll take a walk on it. I'll show you where it leads. On the right, you can see a little pedestrian bridge, and we'll take a walk on it. I'll show you where it leads. Here's how it looks. This is a photo I took. Well, here it is. One day, while I was walking, I came across this pedestrian bridge. On the left and right, we have the sea, and you're walking towards the most populated and lively area of Dubai. Well, let's take a walk through the main locations on the island. Here in front of us is Bluewaters, the light from above, its master plan. And now I'll show you how this island is divided into three main parts. First, it's the wheel itself. And this, a retail park with restaurants. And we'll explore all of this in detail. In the coastal area. With a beach, there's a hotel and large beach clubs. There are 3 beach clubs there, and we'll talk about that too. There are 3 beach clubs there, and we'll talk about that too. And the residential part where we live, where I am right now. I'm currently at my apartment. Actually, I'm sitting here, and this 3 bedrooms with a sea view on the 2nd floor with a cozy terrace, a pool, palm trees, and literally 20 meters from our house is the sea. Of course, we'll take a stroll through the residences and explore everything in detail. So, I found this kind of photo. It's a picture, and we're looking from the side of the hotel. On the left, we have the Delano Hotel, and on the right, the Banyan. The Banyan Hotel from Singapore came to the island last year. Before this, there was Caesar, who occupied the entire area, a kind of entertainment complex. They probably initially planned to open a casino here, but in the end it didn't work out with the casino. It's being built in Ras Al Khaimah. In the end, transferred management to the Singapore network. They bought the lease rights. And now on our right we have Banyan 3 with all the luxuries of the Asian vibe and lifestyle. And on the left we have the new hotel. Delano, what do they call themselves? Or Delano, as we like to say in Russian. It's a Miami network. We will also explore the entire first line and check out the hotels and restaurants. So let's dive right into the resort romance. This is a photo, by the way. Yes, not a visualization, but a picture of a piece of Bluewaters Island, its coastal part. And look at how the beach looks on the island. I call this the open sea because I will show you more today. For comparison, some other projects, including very expensive ones. For example, Bulgari. And you'll see what the beach looks like there and what our beach looks like. It's like this, stretching into the endlessness. Infinity, this is the sea. And here are 3 beach clubs on the premises. The first one is Banyan 3, the beach club of the hotel itself. Banyan is next to the beach club of the Delano Hotel. Well, just so you understand the numbers, they cost 200 dirhams on weekdays and 250 dirhams on weekends. And here's another new beach club for the continent, which opened as a Parisian-French beach club with a sports focus. There's a gym there, there's a court for some fun game, and there's a volleyball court. And this beach club opened instead of the Cove Beach, which was quite noisy and party-oriented. This one is more luxurious and pleasant. It also costs 200 dirhams on weekdays and 250 on weekends to visit this beach club. Cove Beach, which was so noisy and party-like, is now more luxury and pleasant. It also costs 200 dirhams on weekdays and 250 on weekends to visit this beach club. And here's a comparison of what the beach looks like at the Bulgari Hotel. It costs 400 or 500 dirhams. Well, you can see that you're in a small lagoon, and on the right there's construction going on. This is a photo I took a while ago. There are yachts at the marina there. Just a reminder that there's no yacht parking at Bluewaters, and the nearest yachts are only in the area. Beachfront. Here, boats are constantly passing by, and you're in this little bay. After, for example, you have the address in Jumeirah. Yeah, I took this photo from above, from the building itself, and you can see this beach, a fenced-off piece right next to the bridge. That's the residence beach. And here too is the same busy shipping channel. There are a lot of people. They travel here by boat. And here's a comparison. I took a few photos a few days ago. I was at the beachfront. A few days ago, I was at the beachfront. This is a new beach location with skyscrapers. And here, I have this beach. There are a lot of boats parked there, and construction is going on nearby. People are swimming and hanging out. Well, there's probably something to that, but just let's take another look at what it looks like. Our vibe. I made some slides, Bluewaters vibe. And I will periodically show slides where there's just a picture and the caption Bluewaters vibe. By the way, we have the new Banyan SPA there. They launched it at the end of 2024. In the fall, it has been completely rebuilt. It's been updated. You can see the photos of what it looks like now. There. In each area, you have your own changing room, your own jacuzzi where you can chill out, hang out with your girlfriend or friends. There are also special areas called rainforest suites. There are 2 of them. They cost 350 dirhams per hour. And you get your spa capsule with a jacuzzi, right, with tropical showers, a sauna, and various bubbling activities with cold and hot water. And it's completely private, meaning there are no other people there. You can come alone, with friends or with a big group, with your girlfriend. These are our new rainforest suites. They are just a few minutes walk from our residences, and at the same time on the hotel grounds. There are 9 high-end restaurants on the hotel grounds. Some of them have Michelin stars. For example, there's Takahisa, a Michelin-starred chef. You see Maison Rivka. It's a new French restaurant of incredible beauty. And Rose Bar. And Blue Door, a new tapas restaurant. Tocha, this is a tea club. Demon Doug, my favorite teen restaurant, with different duck dishes. Like this, on the green lawn under the trees, it's just mega atmospheric. Well, Elysia is a kind of communal restaurant that we go to, including for Sunday brunches. Remember, we already have 9 restaurants in our collection during the broadcast. We'll count the number of restaurants that are on the island, just on the island. You'll be amazed at how many restaurants there are here. And for us, it's really like that. Well, it's like the lifestyle in the evening when we go out with friends or family. Let's go to have dinner. We are thinking where to go today. The Greek restaurant Uzbek. Today to eat meat or fish, go. For example, Japanese cuisine or something Spanish, for example, paella. The hotel also has a conference area where you can rent meeting rooms and hold events. I really enjoy speaking. I stroll around to different events that are constantly happening at the Bluewaters Forum. Here's another photo, which is called Bluewaters Vibe. Okay? Behind the hotel there are 2 buildings with apartments. They are rented out, managed. That is, you can't buy there. You can just rent through the hotels. But there's almost always some waiting list, so you can't just walk in and rent an apartment. They are only available for long-term rental for a year, and people usually don't break their contracts. They just sublet to their friends to not miss out on the right unit. Usually contracts are not terminated. They just sublet to their friends to not miss out on the right unit. And the retail area, it's interesting to us. Right now we find ourselves in a place called The Wharf. Here, I've highlighted it on the map. This is our shopping center on the island. It's kind of semicircular and wraps around the wheel. You can see here that it goes in a semicircle along the wheel. Let's take a look inside. Inside, by the way, you can see my favorite restaurant, Leto. For those who follow me on social media, you often see stories from there where we have breakfast. You can often see stories from there, stories where we have breakfast. There, well, I'll show you a couple more galleries. There are some shops, an optical store, and a lot more. Let's take a quick look and see what this shopping center has to offer. Rimbombel, Moscow. The guys opened a fabulous kids center with a cafe. It's for kids and has a second floor for adults with a bar where you can celebrate birthdays and hang out. This is one of the best playrooms I've been to. I enjoy climbing around those multi-level playgrounds myself. And this is one of the new places. It opened last year and it's super popular right now. It's very busy there. The level of occupancy. Both Arabs and island residents as well as visitors spend a lot of time there. They spend a lot of time with the kids and hang out. By the way, there's another photo nearby. I just did it outside. You see the Zavarf in this post. A piece of this Zavarf is called Tree House. This is another play area. It's 3 levels high. And besides the playground for kids, there are various workshops happening. There's also a zone for teenagers, a trampoline center and various activities like laser tag and virtual golf, mystery golf, and kids can play there. In this area, it's for kids from 4 years old, and in that one, up to 4 years old. Bogdan and I used to go there often to hang out. We walked around, played, and enjoyed the weather. There's also monkey brass in the shopping center on the island. Well, actually, we hung out there, played. There's also monkey brass in that shopping center on the island. It's a giant entertainment center for adults. 12 bowling lanes. It's a really big location. There's a whole floor of entertainment there. Air hockey, foosball, dance machines, a bunch of different other machines. The entrance there is for adults only, so it's 18 plus, no kids allowed. And it's a place for guys. And there's a bar there too. Well, it's for guys and for women. In general, it's a whole real industry. When our friends come over at Rostik's place or at some of my neighbors, we always go there to spend the evening. To spend an evening, I highly recommend it. Right now, another big entertainment area is being built. Also, within the mall, the wharf. This is Swingers Clay Golf. And there will be such zones where you can go to spend an evening where, well, you can see, for example, there's a spinning wheel and you need to get into the booth. There will also be a restaurant there, and of course, different zones for golf. They occupy a huge space, and they will be opening up. This year, please. It will also be available to residents, and of course to all the guests of the island. Yes, because the island is open not just for those who live there, but we experience all this infrastructure on foot. I had the longest period where I didn't leave the island for 8 days and lived an interesting and fulfilling life. There's also the Clay restaurant there, serving Japanese cuisine and a bit of Peruvian. Yes, that's right, Peru. Here you can see a photo from the terrace and the interior inside. I'm going to show a lot of restaurants just so you can really feel it. By the way, it's really great here. They serve teas. In the right photo, you can see in the background on the bar, there are wheels, like a Ferris wheel. This is for desserts, so when you order tea, they bring you this wheel, which has different cookies on these little things. Candies, isn't that just adorable? Next, the official cafe from Porsche. Driven by Porsche, if you go in there and scan the QR code to open the menu, you get redirected to the website Porsche.com. And there, the menu is on the website Porsche.com. And there's a constant exhibition of vintage cars. This place, Driven, is used as the main co-working space on the island. There are 2 levels, a bunch of different areas with tables and sofas. Classic big tables, small ones, meetings, coffee, Porsches. They hold meetings, drink tea, coffee. They make really great coffee there. And right before you enter, you always see all the owners of elite Porsches arriving and parking their cars. So, right there before you enter, you always see all the owners of elite Porsche cars arriving and parking their cars right in front of the entrance. Porsche cars arrive and park right in front. So, their cars are right in front of the entrance. Ding Tai Fung, it's a Chinese Asian restaurant. It's a very well-known chain, quite large. They opened last year on Bluewaters. They also serve alcohol on the second floor. Sometimes, by the way, people walk around and see that there are no visitors on the lower floor. You see below the photo it's kind of empty. But it turns out that in this mall, you can buy alcohol on the second floor, while down below. Since it's a children's area, they don't sell alcohol there, so everyone is an adult. People usually hang out on the second floors. You can drink alcohol there. Oh, and there's a new place that just opened, a British brasserie and the Spaniel bar. By the way, they also have a cigar room there. It literally just opened a few months ago in the fall. Well, I'm not a fan of that kind of English cuisine. They have fish and chips, different kinds of pies and meats. It's quite heavy for me, but of course they have a very rich bar there and a lot of different types of beer and ale. For enthusiasts, please, the interiors are very beautiful. Many different types of beer and ale. For enthusiasts, please, the interiors are very beautiful. It's a 2-level restaurant with different areas. Mado, a Turkish restaurant. I took a photo on the right. There wasn't a single free spot. Can you imagine? I wanted to take a photo without people in it, but I hope they won't mind. There's also a bakery there and another Armenian restaurant. And yeah, it's an Arab place. That's Vaga. People often say that this place is for escorts, where girls bring different companions, and it's a restaurant. Then they do cashback. So, for the girls, well, I haven't been there myself, because we have so many restaurants that we can't keep up with visiting them all. But it has a beautiful view of the Wheel and the bay, and there are fans of Armenian cuisine there. They celebrate pretty big holidays. Well, my favorite restaurant is Leto. You can eat buckwheat with cutlets, borscht, serniki, draniki, and vareniki there. And there's also a bit of Italy in there. But, of course, they are famous for their desserts and various teas. That's why it's such a fabulous place. I love spending time there, a lot of meetings, and a lot of time. Let's remember, we had 9 restaurants. Inside the mall, there are 9 more restaurants, so we already have 18 restaurants in our collection, and we haven't even stepped out onto the main restaurant promenade yet. We've just strolled through the hotel and the mall. We step outside, walk past Starbucks, and end up on the boulevard, the restaurant boulevard. And here is this retail park at Bluewaters. You just saw Starbucks, and here you saw McDonald's. I went into one of the apartments. To buy it, there was an owner there. She's from America, and she said, "We moved from America to Dubai. We chose Bluewaters, bought an apartment here, and we're just enjoying it incredibly." She has a view of the bay and the Wheel, and she said, "I have teenage kids around 10 to 12 years old, and they are always hanging out. We went to Starbucks, walked around, went to McDonald's, walked around, and I'm not worried. They don't leave the island." And at the same time, we went to Starbucks, walked around, went to McDonald's, walked around, and I'm not worried. They don't leave the island. And at the same time, they kind of love these familiar brands like McDonald's and Starbucks. At the same time, they kind of love these familiar brands like McDonald's and Starbucks. Well, there are, of course, a bunch of restaurants with healthy food. And let me show you. So, we are currently in this part of the restaurant boulevard. Yes, I just highlighted it. And let's take a stroll through the streets of our boulevard. You see these recognizable illuminated mushrooms that light up in the evening? They are made to look like the sun, and they work like sunshades, but at the same time, they also create an architectural atmosphere. The streets of our boulevard, you see these recognizable illuminated mushrooms that light up in the evening? They are designed to look like the sun, and they work like sunshades, but at the same time, they also create an architectural atmosphere. As you can see, they provide this cool shade. And when you're walking around in the summer, even like in Singapore, it has that kind of atmosphere. Yes, these other white trees look really beautiful, especially from the windows. We have an apartment with views of this area, and in the evening, it shimmers in different colors. By the way, you see one of my favorite restaurants, Pasta Mama, which just opened recently. It's a very cozy kind of cuisine. Pizza, grilled dishes, good salads. We spend a lot of time there. And it also has a cozy terrace. So in the evening, you see how these areas look with the lighting. And it's, of course, insanely cool. Right now, this part is lively, life is buzzing here, and you can find yourself in 3 completely different atmospheres at Bluewaters. The first one is the waterfront, our private one. I'll show it to you, where there are almost no people at all. Then, you can find yourself in the middle part, where it's not so crowded, and on the central boulevard. There's a coastal area buzzing with life, featuring vending machines, jugglers, concerts, musicians, and performances. A laser show just happened, and part of the island's infrastructure is there. Let's take a quick walk. There was a laser show there just now, and by the way, that's also where part of the island's infrastructure is located. Let's take a quick walk. A martial arts club recently opened. It's called Range. By the way, it was opened by guys from the CIS. I want to sign up, start going, and get into martial arts. I can really feel it. I want more of that energy. There's also the True Gamers Computer Club. Of course, there's a regular club called the Gamers. It's located across the bridge, about a 15-minute walk from JBR. But you can also come to True Gamers with the guys to play FIFA. If you have teenagers, or you're looking for clients who have kids, there are kids aged 5, 7, and 10 years old. You can also hang out there with friends and just chill without having to go anywhere. You crossed the road and found yourself in a computer club. A Pilates boutique called Iron recently opened for girls. It's a studio with reformers and various yoga activities. Just a few months ago they started. Iron is a Pilates boutique, a studio with reformers and various yoga activities. It just opened recently. They started a few months ago. I have Katya going there, and honestly I do too. Pilates is great for maintaining good posture. I would love to go there too. But right now I have to conduct a webinar. I will definitely sign up for the introductory class. Next, we find ourselves by the sea, with a view of the bay at the waterfront restaurant. Look, this is a photo I took from the pedestrian bridge. You can see, by the way, from below, it's such an unusual little restaurant. This is also about the atmosphere there and the views you get from the restaurants. You see, yes, at JBR, and here, for example, is the Pots restaurant. Yes, it means, well, like beans. Right, those pods. There's a restaurant located near the bridge, so all the tables are hidden in such, with air conditioning, cozy booths where you can hang out. Well, it's such an unusual format. But here are a few more photos just taken on my phone along the waterfront. Along the waterfront, and just a second, there, ta-da. This is the list of restaurants and cafes on the territory of our restaurant boulevard, Vinci. Restaurant. 26, can you believe it, guys? There's Angel's Cafe, for example. Yes, everyone's favorite. Yes, with healthy desserts. Recently, Vinyl Hi-Fi Cafe opened there. It's a nightclub with karaoke. One of the latest discoveries, by the way. I put together a selection for you of my 5 favorite restaurants. This is MIA, a Greek restaurant. We definitely go there every week. They have the most delicious sea bass on the island, yes, and it's actually one of the tastiest we've ever had in our lives. We go there every week for sure. By the way, this was opened by the restaurant holding Bulldozer. Right there is Virgin Izikaya Bar, Alexander Orlov, a gorgeous Greek restaurant with a terrace by the sea. There's a Turkish cuisine restaurant nearby. We call him Gennady. Actually, it's Gennady, also with incredible views. And there are my favorite chicken cubes. These different little snacks, barbecue, you can get it there. It's a really cool place. I love going there. The next place, when someone arrives, who's solid and prestigious, is Alici, on the terrace with white tablecloths and nice table settings. It's an Italian restaurant with really good classic Italian cuisine. Just look at the atmosphere, and that's how it all is. There are 26 restaurants in a row. Name me at least one location in the world where you have such a density of infrastructure in 1 square kilometer. They're asking if there's a Burger King, but if you want burgers, I'll tell you where to go. Gnadin, yes, they even write it. All right, we call him Gennady always. Let's go to Gennady, let's go. One of the latest discoveries this year, just a few weeks ago, at the beginning of the 25th, Zor opened up an Uzbek restaurant. Where do I go every week too? Almost every day, delicious tomatoes from Uzbekistan. They bring different vegetables. You can eat samsa there. You can order shashlik. And Zor just opened on Bluewaters in a grand giant format. There's a Fairmont on the Palm as well, and here it has taken up 2 restaurant slots, a giant terrace. Recently, a team of developers came to visit me. A team of developers and me. I invited them there. We got a table for 12 people and had a really delicious meal. Well, Frank Basta opened a restaurant last year. It's called Mates and Grill. Yeah, something like that. And we also go there quite often. Not every week, but once a month, 2-3 times a month. We also go there quite often. Not every week, but once a month, 2 or 3 times a month. We also go there. It's for meat lovers, ribs, different steaks, and so on. It's a very beautiful atmospheric place, and they have cool desserts there. And there are a lot of things. By the way, I used to love shawarma with a hook there. They've taken it off the menu now, but they've added something new. So, that's my top 5. Let me remind you, there were 26 of them. And tada! We already have 44 restaurants in our collection. Guys, 44 restaurants on one island. It's still an important part of life. Food is an important part of life. And, of course, it's cool when you have something like this. The selection starts from McDonald's, Starbucks, various coffee shops, juice bars, ice cream cafes, and pastry shops, bakeries, and so on, and goes all the way to high-end restaurants that are constantly being updated. One of the latest discoveries is Bazaar, a giant 2-level Spanish cuisine restaurant with incredibly beautiful paellas, which opened just last week. Yeah, you can also have pancakes there. There's blinberry. Let's move on. We're passing by a playground. It's a small one, outdoors. Well, for older kids, they can climb on the logs, walk around, and hang out. We're passing by the electric salon. Where can we rent a bike? And we'll come back to this place later. I'll show you what activities we have related to this place. We're passing by the Little Things toy store with a cafe, which I didn't even have on this list. And here, basically, you can just... Sometimes I go in and just buy something for Bogdan, some kind of monster truck, Hot Wheels, some cool little thing, and I visit not empty-handed. For example, at the level, we're heading home, and through the boulevard. By the way, you can see the level of greenery. Boulevard. By the way, you can see the level of greenery. We are currently on the main road, along which cars enter the island. Here you can see what it looks like, the palms, the greenery, the trees. On the right is the wheel, and on the left is the residential area, and we find ourselves near the sea, transitioning into the residential part. Bluewaters resident, yes, let me remind you where it is located. This part has a view of the sea. Next to the retail area, it will be revealed to you from a new perspective. This is exactly where I live and where you can buy an apartment or rent one and live. These are my photos that I took in different locations on the island. You can buy an apartment or rent one and live there. These are my photos that I took in different locations on the island. Check out Architectru. I'm just going to scroll through a few photos. For example, some of the buildings are located along the sea. On the left, you can see the promenade. It's 700 meters long for walks and to watch the sunsets and sunrises. I'll show it to you in detail separately. The architecture was done by the Hong Kong Bureau 10 Design, and they received 3 important awards for it. Important awards: global, including the International Property Awards as the best residential building in the Middle East in 2020s, 24s. Bluewaters has gathered a great collection. Take a look at the facades. You see, yes, here, gray concrete, white concrete, and a wood-like finish. So that's also the case. Tiles. And unlike the same Port de la Mer or the same project, Mamsa on Saadiyat in Abu Dhabi has no plaster. Even the balcony trims are without plaster. Even the balcony trims, we can see them here. You see, yes, the balconies on top are done without plaster. So there's absolutely no plaster in the house at all. This means it ages beautifully You see this building, it's about 4 to 5 years old, and here nothing is peeling off. They always look clean. They look perfect because it's made with technologies that nothing is falling off here. They always look clean, they look perfect because it's made with technologies that it will last another 10, 20, 30 years without changing. These residences look like that. It will last another 10, 20, 30 years without changing. These residences look like that. Let's move on. This photo was taken with a drone. You see a photo of the island from the side of the residential area. We saw the same photo of the island from the beach side, from the hotel, and now we are on the territory, or rather, we are looking from the sea at the island. This is the first, second, third, fourth, and fifth buildings. Island. This is the first, second, third, fourth, and fifth building. I'm also speaking for brokers because we are happy to invite brokers to collaborate. If you have clients and you want to please them, welcome. 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. These buildings from 1 to 5 are located with a view of the sea, but there are also views, of course, into the courtyard and the park with a view of the sea. But there are also views, of course, into the courtyard and the park. And the buildings 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10 are located closer to the boulevard, and there the view of the wheel is valued. The most expensive apartments on the island are the middle floors, starting from the 7th, 8th, 9th, 10th, and 11th. And with a view of the wheel and the lagoon, the maximum height is 15 floors. And the minimum is 6. So the first building has 6 floors, while the 7th building and the 8th have 14 to 16 floors, 15 in total. And above are the penthouses. Here, you can also see this part, which consists of 17 townhouses. I'll show you one of them. One of them is currently for sale, and I am the owner. Here's a photo of what it looks like. There's the gate. Can you imagine? You step out, and just 20 meters away you have the sea. Everything is surrounded by greenery and palm trees. And this is a walking area. Cars can't access it, and tourists hardly come here. Such beauty. The promenade along the sea looks like this, as I showed you. Here are a few photos. What does our promenade along the sea look like when people are riding bikes, walking with their kids and dogs? We have a pet-friendly island, also dog-friendly. There are many people living here with dogs and they walk along the sea. So I just took some photos. You can see how people are jogging, how people are walking with strollers. And all of this, on the left is the sea. And on the right are the residences, all surrounded by greenery. Here's another photo from the Bluewaters vibe. These are benches where you can watch the sunset. You sit down, and in the evening, everything is lit up, and you watch the sunset over the Persian Gulf, into the endless, all of these view apartments. We have exactly the same view, just identical. They face the sunset side. Well, let's go inside, take a stroll through the park, and I'll show you the apartments. 40 minutes. We have already passed that. This is what the lobby looks like. I'll say right away that this is a classic urban project. Many compare Bluewaters to hotel apartments. Well, for example, address JBR, where you have a 15-meter lobby. There are cafes, restaurants, trees, and these giant spaces. Or did you build it with Atlantis? Yes, where you go. You have Louis Vuitton, and there are fountains, high ceilings. The lobby here is more modest. It's more of an urban residence. And here are a few photos for you. So you walk in, and there's always a concierge sitting there. It's designed so that couriers can hand over their documents and get in without any hassle. But your guests also just dial the intercom, and you open the door for them, and they come in. Basically, there are no difficulties with access here. But your guest can also just dial the intercom, and you open the door for them, and they come in. Basically, there are no difficulties with access here. We're going to go in now, but not into the residence just yet. We're going to head up to the park level. Well, this is what the exit from the building looks like from the park side. There are these little fountains there. And I'll show you the Bluewaters Park inside. Here are the photos I took in our park. It's 2 hectares. 2 hectares. It's an absolutely private area. And this is our private park. This is a key feature people love about Bluewaters. This is our private park. These are photos I took just on my phone while walking around inside. This is definitely one of the main features that people love about Bluewaters. Besides, this incredible infrastructure, which is only possible because of the wheel, since the wheel is the main attraction. The tourist traffic, and on this bustling waterfront, life is always buzzing. It brings energy, money to the restaurants. They can go to 50 restaurants, and there's also a hotel, of course, which provides a constant flow of guests for the restaurants with its 450 rooms, while the residents enjoy the infrastructure. Well, it's just about taking advantage of one of the wonders of the world created. In our time, the largest Ferris wheel in the world. And, of course, this hotel with its incredible beaches. This is what our park looks like from above. You can see it's quite a large area, 2 hectares. You can see a lot of pools. You can see 3 pools in the areas next to the houses, 1 main pool. And here, on the rooftops are the pools, penthouses. I sold one of the penthouses in December. Well, actually in November. And that was the biggest deal in Dubai. $23 million. And now we've bought another penthouse and we'll start working on it next month. Also, in general, we'll have another 900 square meters on 2 levels with its own pool. Okay, let me show you a bit more of the park. What is there in the park area? 2 courts. For street ball, yes. Basketball hoops. Teenagers can go out and kick the ball around. You can kick it around there too. Well, this is a sports area. We have a fresco, a barbecue area. I love this area. We use it all the time. Picnic, blankets, grills, cleaned. Here's one of them, for example. So on the right, we spread out the blankets. We take the coals. We take, grill. Grills are there, cleans them. Trash can is there for grilling. Often charcoal is there. Bring your steaks, fish, meat, or veggies to grill. By the way, I'll show you. There's often even charcoal lying around, so you just need to bring your steaks, fish, meat, or vegetables and just grill them. You can have a picnic on the grass with your friends, neighbors, or family. Here's a photo from the Bluewaters vibe. Having a picnic on the grass with your friends, neighbors, or family. Here's a photo from the Bluewaters vibe. I was just walking through the yard and took a photo. You can see the wheel and the terrace of one of the apartments. On the 3rd floor, above this one, we sold the apartment not long ago. And so that's the story. So what else? There are 3 pools like this near the houses that stand along the sea. These are the pools, and I love it. My son Bogdan, who is 3 years old, is taking swimming lessons. The coach comes to us and he practices in these pools. We can see him right from our window as he trains. I'll show you more so you can see how much greenery there is around. The coach comes to us and he comes out right in these pools and we can see him from our window as he trains. I'll show you more so you can see how much greenery there is there. There's always a lifeguard on duty there so kids can be there in general. Well, you can let them go there without adult supervision. There's always someone on duty there, and everything is surrounded by greenery, and it's absolutely quiet. It's a private pool. There are 3 of them, one after the other. Someone is always on duty, and everything is immersed in greenery, and it's absolutely quiet. It's a private pool. There are 3 of them, one after the other. But there's also the main pool, the big main pool. Here it is. It's heated and cooled. Right now, the temperature there is over 30 degrees, and there's a promenade that runs alongside it. Lounge chairs. It's a really cool place. I love it. I bought myself some headphones for swimming. I turn on a podcast or some lecture, and I swim here for 25 meters back and forth. It's big and wide. Swimming, and I turn on some podcast or I play some lecture, and I swim here for 25 meters back and forth. It's big and wide. Here's another photo from the Bluewaters Swipe series. This is me taking a photo from the pool towards the sea. This is what it looks like. It's such an interesting atmosphere. Further, the gym, it's a 2-level gym. This is the lower hall. So, well, the main room. Yeah, where I usually work out the most. Those who follow me see something from the gym every day. Well, every 2 days. I go on Mondays, Tuesdays, Thursdays, and Saturdays, and I always reward myself with something from here. The techno gym equipment is on the upper floor. There's a full area there as well. There are also sets of dumbbells, so the gym is really big. There's also a yoga room, and we have kids doing gymnastics here. And when the weather outside is bad, or it's really hot, like a closed room for air conditioning, there's also a separate room for personal training. When it's just you and the trainer, here's the cardio area. There are about 15 treadmills there. We have it set up. They also have a view of the sea. For example, from the Bluewaters Vibe series, you run and look at the sea. On the lower floor, there are a series of treadmills, and on the upper floor, there are quite a lot of them. And there are also machines for glutes, but overall, it's a fully equipped gym, everything you need. There is also a children's pool for all the little dolls so they can play there, to swim. He is also it's fenced off so they can't get out, and there's always a lifeguard on duty there. And there you can see the view of the sea. We have football training sessions happening behind that pool. And there you can see the view of the sea. We have football training sessions happening behind that pool. The splash zone is for kids. Bogdan and I love it. You press the button and he runs around all wet, having fun. It's just a great way to chill in the yard. Just to remind you, this is the private park on the grounds of our residences. There are also several playgrounds for kids. They are not that outstanding. They are upgraded periodically. They just replaced that little spider web with a slide and a few carousels. But overall, there are a couple of areas for playing with younger kids. And for the older ones, you can go to the trampoline park and to Rimbombel. And there's also a playground with logs and bars where you can climb on the nets. Another basketball court is located at the far end of the park. There's another second gym, so we have two gyms on the premises. This is for those who are too lazy to walk through the park since it's a pretty big enclosed area, this private one. And there's a second gym that is also fully equipped with dumbbells, machines, and so on. It's located in the 7th building, and those who live in the far part of the park, they don't have to go to the main area. They can just go to this second gym. So are you ready to take a look to the apartments? Before that, I'll quickly go over the questions that were sent in. They say, I prefer running in nature. Okay, you can run along the waterfront. The waterfront, just to remind you, is 700 meters, so a round trip is almost 1.5 kilometers. We ran 3 times 2 kilometers. It's along the waterfront by the sea. And if you love running really far, like 10 kilometers, you can run along the pedestrian bridge all the way along the marina, make a loop, and come back to the island. It's all completely pedestrian, a long waterfront that's very comfortable. Soon, when Bluewaters Bay is completed, it will be fully enclosed. The entire big loop is pedestrian, and you can run 10 kilometers along the sea, along the canal, along the water, without crossing any roads at all. I don't even realize that there are any roads for many dozens of kilometers. And this is one of the coolest places to live because you can really run. And running is interesting. Not like on a palm tree by the sea, but right along the road specifically. So, with this interesting changing backdrop among the skyscrapers, let's start with the apartments, starting with the 1-bedroom. This is a 1-bedroom apartment. They range in size from 100 to 120 square meters, the smallest apartments on the island. There are these micro studios, they're 80 square meters, but there are only a few of them. And, well, this is how they look. Actually, they are positioned so poorly that there are none available on the market. Everyone has bought them, rented them out, and forgotten about them. The main studio is about 100 square meters, 100 to 120 square meters. The price right now ranges from 5 to 6.5 million. That's from 5 to 6.5 million dirhams to dollars. I'm writing this just in case. And 1.4 million, 1.8 million dollars. Here you can see the layout of the 1-bedroom. There's always a terrace and a master bedroom. Here it is, one with a bathtub and a shower. And I'll show you some photos, some locations, actually some apartments. Here's an apartment on the 3rd floor, one of my favorites. I recently received an offer from brokers for 6.1 million. We might close it. I have it listed for 6.4, but it's $1,740,000. This is a studio on the 3rd floor. Look at how incredible the palm trees look. So you have real palm trees growing right outside your window, creating this green private space area. Here's what our interior looks like. We often add carpentry and intricate. We make a lot of beautifully crafted things from stone ourselves, including islands and tables. And here you see the bedroom with oak veneer on the wall, beautifully crafted by hand. These are the panels, and this is such a cozy 1-bedroom apartment. I'll show you. The bathrooms are all the same. I'll show you one. We won't touch the others. You see the master bathroom on the right is the tub and shower, on the left is the double sink and plumbing, Vagno design. Everything is like that. We just put the palm tree there to set the mood. Whoever wants it, we can take it away later. It's a very cozy, nice bathroom, and there's also a guest bathroom at the entrance. As you saw in the layout, there's always a guest bathroom in any apartment, of course. Here's what it looks like. It's called a powder room. To powder the nose, here's what the terrace of this apartment looks like. One bedroom, look, it's almost 3 meters wide, and here's the view that opens up to the left. Beautiful. Here's the view that opens up to the left. Beautiful. Here's another one, a one-bedroom apartment on the 3rd floor that's also incredibly beautiful. There's also a one-bedroom apartment on the 3rd floor, incredibly beautiful. You see, there are palm trees outside the windows again. Here, it's like Bali style with a giant palm standing like this. But at the same time, the view opens up to the city. You see the Boca Room sofa? We brought it from the living room. In every apartment, of course, there's a bathroom and a shower. And if there are several bedrooms, you'll see that each one has its own bathroom. Each bedroom has its own bathroom. All bedrooms are suites. And here's another apartment. The coolest one-bedroom on the island, priced at $1,800,000. It's on the top floor of the most scenic part. Let me show you a few photos. You can see from the bedroom what a view opens up to the sea and the wheel. You'll be able to see all the fireworks, all the drone shows. You can watch it all right from the bed, but here's the view from the terrace. And I'll show this just taken with a wide-angle lens. Yes, it looks like this, but if you just look at it with your own eyes, it looks even better. And I'll just show this taken with a wide-angle lens. Yeah, it all looks like this, but if you just look at it with your eyes, it looks different. Well, it's kind of like this, just a little zoomed in. Yeah, I framed it like that. But when you're standing there, you have a different perspective. This is a giant wheel, and it also serves as a screen. It works until 11 p.m. and at 11 p.m. everything turns off. Those who say I won't be able to sleep at night, don't worry. At 11 p.m. it operates from 6 to 11 for about 4 or 5 hours, and then everything turns off. So at night it's completely dark there, everything is fine. But in the evening, when you look at that wheel, it takes your breath away. Now we're moving to the 2-bedroom apartment. They range in size from 130 to 150 square meters, and the price for them ranges from 8 to 12 million dirhams, or $2-3 million. Here you can see the classic, most popular 2-bedroom apartment. We enter, and on the left we have the living room with a kitchen, a dining area, a sofa area, and there's almost always a terrace. And on the right you see the main bedroom and another bedroom. Note that in all of these apartments you'll always have 4 bedrooms, 3 bedrooms, and so on. Each bedroom will have its own bathroom, along with a walk-in closet. This is called a suite. Unlike many other projects where you have the bathroom is across the hall from the bedroom, so you have to walk through the corridor. Here's another layout. Here the terrace is a bit wider, and these are the apartments without maids. They come like this. Maids, that's the area for the maid. This apartment is currently for sale. It costs $2,900,000. This is the top floor with a sea view. Look at this beauty. Here we have art objects, natural stone, and natural veneer. Everything is done super cozy, just like this, and look at the view of the sea that opens up. The apartments are all sold with new furniture, and they come fully decorated with art objects, paintings, greenery, even with all sorts of little things like decanters, pictures, and so on. Here's what the master bedroom looks like. Look at the atmosphere here, and you're lying there and you have the sea like this. This is the sunset side, which means you won't have the sun here in the morning, and it usually appears around noon. But we have curtains and blinds everywhere. So if you're worried that it will be hot in the summer, it's actually super comfortable. Here, we have great air conditioning. We live in an apartment with exactly the same sea view, and it doesn't bother us at all. There are excellent air conditioners here. We live in an apartment with exactly the same sea view, and it doesn't bother us at all. Even in the heat, in the heart of summer, it's always cool and nice here. The apartment is cozy. I don't even pull the curtains or cover the windows. Right in the heat, in the heart of summer, it's always cool and nice here. The apartment is cozy. I don't even close the curtains. I really like it. Here's what the terrace of this apartment looks like. I'm not even going to focus on this apartment right now because I've sold it yesterday. I signed the contract. This was a two-bedroom apartment on the first floor with a view like this. We sold it. Sold. Everything is sold. We sold it. Sold. Everything is sold. But I'm preparing new apartments, and now we will move on to the apartments that come with maids. Here, well, this is one of the most popular layouts. I'm going to show you an apartment on the first floor at park level with a huge private terrace. You see, there's a very interesting area appearing here. Do you see the sign that says service entrance? This service entrance, this is the second entrance to the apartment. And there's a special laundry area, utility area to the right. You see the sign Waters Room. This is a separate apartment within the apartment where a nanny can live, and this area can be used as an office. It also has its own shower, its own bathtub. Let's take a walk and take a look. I've already sold 4 of these apartments with such large terraces on the first floor. Look at the atmosphere. You walk in and it feels like you're living in a metropolis, one of the most dynamically developing ones, and you have there 50 restaurants and you have a lot of other infrastructure. We'll take a quick look and talk about what's on the first floors of our residential buildings. But you walk in and you have trees, palm trees, everything is green. Take a look at how this looks. Here's the dining area, for example. And here's another angle from the kitchen into the living area. This is what the maid's area looks like. Do you see this separate door from the entrance, right? Laundry area, Miley, washing, drying is available. And here it is. The room is small, 2.2 by 2.5 meters, designed for a loft bed or an office with a desk. Many, like Rostik, have such apartments and work comfortably there. And many people, like Rostik, have such an apartment. They set up an office there, and he sits there comfortably. Absolutely. You have 2 full bedrooms, plus an office with its own bathroom and shower, and some people even host guests there. I have a friend, Stefan, who also lives in the exact same 2-bedroom apartment with maids, and they have a full guest room with its own. They have a little closet in their bedroom for when friends come over, but the guys are young, around 20, 22, 23 years old. They can absolutely relax in such a room. All of them have windows, and the windows open in every bedroom. It's not like towers where everything is sealed. Open the windows, hear birds, feel fresh air. This is the master bedroom with oak panels and stylish furniture. Enjoy the view of palm trees and greenery. Here's the terrace. Take a look. This is what the terrace looks like. Take a look. This is the lounge area. A large bed, completely private, meaning no one can come close. It's all covered by greenery. Here, take a look. In fact, there are really dense thickets and bushes, so no one can see what's happening on that terrace. We put a bar counter here and a chair by the window so you could lie down. So you can sit there with your phone, and of course there's the dining area. We always leave 1 bedroom empty. What you see here is just an empty bedroom. The price includes furnishing it, so we can either put in a bed for kids and a study desk, or turn it into an office, or set up 2 beds. For those who want to accommodate 2 kids and young teenagers, or a full double bed, we can add dressers and nightstands. This is included in the price of the apartment. We intentionally leave it unfurnished so that the person can customize it to their liking. For those who want to accommodate 2 kids, young teenagers, or a full double bed, we can add dressers and nightstands. Let me show you the 3-bedroom apartments. I live in one myself, so that a person can customize the furnishings to their liking. Let me show you the 3-bedroom apartments. I live in a similar one myself. 3-bedroom apartments on the island are 190 to 200 square meters, and their prices range from 12 to 18 million dirham. You can see again that all the bedrooms are suites. Each bedroom has its own bathroom with a shower. And in the master bedroom, there's also a bathtub, and here, there's a walk-in closet in each room. This is a line of closets. Here, there is a wardrobe in every room. It is a line of wardrobes. About 5 or 6 blocks of closets. All my clothes fit in 1 double closet, about 5 or 6 of them. We create in 3-bedroom apartments. In the hallway, there's a long area for wardrobes, all empty, even though 3 of us live here, and a parent often visits. We even have winter clothes here in Dubai. Some people have a ton of clothes, like real slaves to their belongings. We even have winter clothes with us here in Dubai. Well, there are definitely people who have a ton of clothes, like real slaves to their belongings. They take 1 extra bedroom and turn it into a giant walk-in closet. Please, I've seen something like that. For example, Sergei Kosenko, when he lived on Bluewaters, my friend, they turned one bedroom completely into closets from top to bottom, and it became a big walk-in closet with its own bathroom. The girl can invite her friends, a stylist, or a cosmetologist over, and they can do some extra treatments right at home. Let's take a look at a couple of 3-bedroom apartments. You can see they come with corner terraces often, and of course, with the maid's area, there's almost always a separate service entrance. Here we have one of the most affordable apartments. It's $3,200,000. It's very quiet with a view of the park. I'll show you a few things related to the interior. You can see we have a wine fridge down there and a robot vacuum that comes out, moves around and cleans the apartment. This is what the bedroom looks like with a view of the sea. This is what the view from the living room looks like. There's no terrace in this apartment. There's a French balcony. It's a really nice, bright, cozy apartment, and you have access to the children's pool, to the park, and to the sea. That's really cool. Here's one of those common layouts for 3-bedroom apartments. It's 195. It's 195 meters with a view of the sea, and with a terrace overlooking the sea. All the bedrooms also have a view of the sea. Take a look at what the living room looks like. We make tables like these ourselves. This is what the view from the bedroom window looks like. This is not even the master bedroom, it's just a regular one. Here's another photo. Below you have the promenade, and you can sleep with the windows open. I lived in such an apartment for 1 year, my first year of life. Here's another piece of the terrace with a view of the courtyard and the palm tree, and this is a section of the terrace with a view of the sea. The sea is down below. The courtyard and the palm tree, and this is a piece of the terrace overlooking the sea. The sea is down below. Here's another apartment. It's on the 4th floor, a corner 3-room apartment with a view of the wheel. Look at the atmosphere. This is the giant wheel of the drone show, and the fireworks are going off. And this is how we did it. Shelf, such a cool emerald green sofa, and a few details. Yes, the bedroom also has a view of the wheel. You see, by the way, there's a boulevard down below, which is why we install double glazing, a special additional double window unit, so that no Ferraris, Lamborghinis, or motorcycles passing by below disturb us. Residents of our apartment have quadruple window units that no other apartment in the building has. Because of this, we enjoy an incredibly peaceful silence. Residents of our apartment, not one apartment in the riser has such quadruple glass units as ours. And because of that, we have an incredibly enjoyable silence. People complain when someone is constantly driving by their windows. Everyone who bought from us is happy, enjoying life, because we really care about the details. Can you imagine? We install additional window sets inside with aluminum frames that create complete sound insulation. This is something that needs to be done only in apartments that face the street. We install additional window sets inside with aluminum frames that create complete sound insulation. This needs to be done only in apartments facing the boulevard and the wheel. Other flippers trying to do something there will find it difficult to live later because the road below requires complete silence. Here's the terrace of this apartment. Later on, it will be very difficult to live here because the road below requires complete silence. Here's what the terrace of this apartment looks like. Here's another 3-room apartment, one of my favorites. I lived alone for a year too, until I bought my own. This 7th floor with a view. The sea. You can see the view from the kitchen window. Yes, through the hotel to the endless expanse of the sea. Well, here you can see the giant wheel outside the window. Here we have this oak veneer. Here's the terrace. It's a corner apartment too, with big sofas and a large dining table. And here's the view from the apartment window. It overlooks a private park. This apartment is on the 2nd line, which means there's a walking area below, private, with no cars driving through. And from here you can also see the wheel, all the fireworks, salutes, and drone shows. It's clearly visible. Let's move on to the 4-room apartments. We currently have 2 4-room apartments. On sale, they are 230, 240 meters, costing from 19 to 24 million. In dollars, that's about 5 to 6.5 million. Here's one 4-room apartment, this one, with a huge living room and this kind of island, and here are a few pieces from the bedroom. Here's the view from the terrace overlooking the sea through the greenery of the park. Here's the view from the kitchen window. Yes, also through the hotel, since it's the 7th floor, the hotel has 6 floors. You can see the Palm and Atlantis, both of them. And you can see a piece of the sea. Here's another 4-room apartment, 6S and 4 million. It has a stunning view of the sea. You can see, yes, that the sea opens up behind all the windows. Here's what it looks like from the bedroom. Below is the promenade area. And this is just like this, an endless view of the sea. Here's what it looks like from the terrace. Take a look. Gorgeous. And here's another photo I took at sunset from the terrace. Towards the sea as well. We have one townhouse with 4 bedrooms. Look, an important detail. In each 1-bedroom and 2-bedroom apartment, there is 1 parking space, 1 parking spot for the 2-bedroom apartments. Actually, for 3-bedroom apartments and those with 4 bedrooms, there are 2 parking spaces. They are all in the underground parking. Access is card only. No problems with leaving, no problems with arriving. The transportation logistics are very convenient. Can you exit in any direction? You can exit directly onto Sheikh without any traffic lights or jams. Those who live at the address spend 20-30 minutes getting in and 20-30 minutes getting out. Those who live in Jumeirah, the same goes for beachfront. Everything there gets stuck at traffic lights. And thank God, even the palm trees have traffic lights, but on Bluewaters, there's only 1 traffic light. And it's located in the center of the island. And if you're a resident, then you dive in without traffic lights and you can head out in any direction. Towards Abu Dhabi, towards the shopping malls, deeper into the city, towards Sheikh Zayed, and you always get in without any problems. It's incredibly nice. Yes, a townhouse with a pool, with its own parking for 3 parking spaces, with its own garage. So you drive in. This is what it looks like. The living room, you can see the sea view through the greenery. Here's another photo from the living room. Right outside the window, the sea is 20 meters away. I don't know where you could have the sea so close to you. Only on the Palm, but there you have no infrastructure. It's like living in the countryside. Here, you have a real city life. Here's the 2nd floor. We also made a living room there, an office of our own. This is what the bedrooms look like. Also with a stunning view of the sea. All the bedrooms have terraces. Here's, for example, the view from the terrace of the Palms. Actually, the view of the Palm from the terrace and the sea. A small private pool and also a cozy little terrace. Here's the backyard with a grill. We brought water there and created such a cozy area so you can chill and enjoy. There are sofas and places to hang out. Look at how this looks. It's just a mega cozy private area. There you also have a separate service entrance, a garage of your own with doors for 3 cars, and all of this is on the island with a colossal, gigantic infrastructure. A few things about the service charge. You were asking how much the maintenance costs, not including utilities. Well, it's not for utilities, but for the maintenance of the pools, security, garbage collection, park maintenance, gardeners, and so on. 29 dirhams. What is that, 29 dirhams? That's per square foot per year. Yes. I've shown you all the apartments in meters. In Dubai, but they measure in square feet. Often. That's why I translated it for you approximately so that you don't have to worry. For Van Bedroom, you'll pay $80,000 a year. So I converted it from dirhams and from square feet to the total area of the 2-bedroom apartment, and you'll be paying about $11,000. This includes access to the pools and the fitness center. And it also includes all the promenades, landscaping, and security. There are 20 security guards on duty around the clock everywhere. All the promenades, landscaping, and security. 20 security guards everywhere, 24/7. They monitor and are on duty there. Well then, for comparison, I want to show you the prices in other projects. Here, on Bluewaters, it's 29 dirhams. Here are other projects. Both Royal Atlantis and Kempinski there on the Palm are 42 dirham per square foot. Address GBR across the road is 46 dirhams. Bulgari is 54. One Palm is 58. Fairmont is 48. We have less than 30. This does not include beach access, Just like in Bulgaria, by the way, that also doesn't include it. You pay separately to be on the beach. You pay separately for that to be on the beach. Well, I mean, you can go there, hang out, and no one will say anything to you. If you want a sun lounger, you pay 200 dirhams. And now look, a classic apartment, for example, a 3-bedroom, yes, that's 2,000 square feet. 2,000 multiplied by 29 dirhams gives you, well, an approximate amount. Let's even multiply by 30, and you'll get 60,000 dirhams. So, roughly speaking, across the road at the address, you would pay 30,000 dirhams more for this apartment. For this apartment, it's 30,000 dirhams more. It's more dirhams. A visit to the beach costs 200 dirhams, and that adds up. You can go to the beach more than 100 times, but I will say this. We personally are absolutely not beach guys, but pool guys, and we go to the beach about 4 times a year. Mom, when she comes, Katya goes with Bogdan. It's not hard for us to pay, but the beach isn't part of the residential area. It's part of the hotel area, and mainly the hotel guests pay for its maintenance. You can come to the beach club if you want, take a big cabana, or just sit in the restaurant. Hang out, you can even swim. No one will say anything to you. Just if you want a separate sun lounger, you have to pay for that. So, it turns out you can go there with your family. With 3 people going there 30, 40, or 50 times, it still adds up about the same amount of money that you would keep this beach on your balance. It's interesting. Let me tell you a bit about renting. Here are the rental rates for a 1-bedroom apartment, and I've indicated them in dollars below. For those who prefer, it's 300 to 400,000 dirhams on average in the market. Right now, I've taken the transactions for the last year. For 2-bedroom apartments, it's 400 to 650,000 dirhams. It's clear that there are contracts that have been signed a long time ago and people are renewing them, so they can't raise the rates for new contracts. I was just looking at a 2-bedroom apartment there. I even removed the highest values from here. 1 bed 420, 2 bed 670, 3 bed 1,800,000, 670. 3 bedrooms were rented for 1,800,000. I even specifically removed those highest limits from the analysis so I wouldn't get distracted by them. And I'm taking the average price to avoid getting distracted by them. And I'm taking the average price. 3 bedrooms are 650, 300,000. I rented for 1,000 for 2 years. But our guys just found an apartment for 600,000. Well, it's roughly like this. But I saw it for 1.8 million. Right now, the 3-bedroom apartments with a view are being rented out in dirhams. Yeah, well, in dollars, that's like $350,000 a year. This is the annual rental rate. 4 bedrooms are 1.3 million, 3 million. This also includes townhouses. I'm not considering the extreme values again. They recently rented out a 4-bedroom apartment with a view for 3.4 million. So, yeah, that's kind of the range. So it turns out that the upper limit of each previous category is in fact the lower limit of the next one. So, for example, for 400,000, you can rent either a cool 1-bedroom or a mediocre 2-bedroom for 650. You can rent either a really cool 2-bedroom or the simplest 3-bedroom. Well, you understand the logic, right? So let's recall the layout of our apartment once again. It's a 3-bedroom with a separate laundry room, a room for a nanny, its own bathroom, and 5 bathrooms in total in the apartment. There will be a guest bathroom, and all 3 bedrooms will be suites, meaning there will always be a shower and a dressing room inside. In the master bedroom, there will be a bathtub and a shower, a corner terrace, and a nice spacious living room. It's straight, with a large panoramic view. Now let's take a look at the layouts of similar apartments in other worthy complexes. For example, Bulgaria. Clients often compare. I even had a showing recently where people had 3 apartments in Bulgaria. It's boring to live there, and they want to move to Bluewaters. So the father is against it, the kids are for it because there's really nothing for them to do there. And so the layout in Bulgaria will be 260 square meters, which means it will be slightly larger in area. But what will it be worth? Let's take a look. There's also mites. The terrace, well, it's not bad either. So that means Bulgaria, it costs twice as much. So that apartment, this one, you can buy a nice 3-bedroom like this at Bluewaters for 14-15 million dirhams. Here it's 28, so it's twice as expensive. So you're basically paying for the Bulgari brand. At the same time, the apartment will be a bit more spacious. Yeah, there will be like a bigger walk-in closet in your master bedroom. You might have a freestanding bathtub. It will have a window. Well, we also have a freestanding one, just like not like that. It's pretentious, but the price difference is about twice as much for a similar area. Next up, Royal Atlantis. 280 square meters. There are very spacious apartments there. It costs 30 million there. Of course, there are also options for 35 million, and so on. But classic 3 bedrooms in Atlantis cost 30 million. So that's also twice as expensive as on Bluewaters. At the same time, what you get is a maid's room without a window, so you can't really use it as a full-fledged room like an office. Yeah, they have nice bedrooms as well as walk-in closets. It's understandable, the living room. Overall, of course, Royal Atlantis. I have 2 apartments there and we've already sold one. And it's a super standard of quality, but it's also more than twice as expensive as it is on Bluewaters. Plus, the balconies and terraces are very narrow. You can't fit a full sofa or bed like we do. You can't even put a dining table there, just 2 small tables with a tea set. So you can't create a full dining area like we have in all the apartments. On Bluewaters, by the way, these 3 bedrooms at GBR, take a look, they're 180 square meters. Yeah, it's cheaper than on Bluewaters. On Bluewaters, it's 14 million for 200 square meters. Here it's 9 million. Take a look at the layout. I've been to those apartments. They're really strange. And from that address, of course, there are the most people, even though the prices are cheaper there, but there are traffic jams, there's Shalman, there's a hotel, and a ton of people. And of course, those who have money and those who want to are moving to Bluewaters. Here's an interesting story. Take a look here. This will also be without a window in the bedroom. Everything has rounded edges. They're quite something. Well, it's kind of specific, although the layout itself isn't bad. Each bedroom has its own bathroom, and one of them is a pass-through. Yes, you see the guest peeing with one of the bedrooms. But at the same time, the living room is very cramped, narrow, and small. Not everyone is suited to these rounded isometric shapes. This is the beachfront. Yeah, many people compare them too. And after Bluewaters, they go to check out the beachfront. I showed you the beachfront. You can really buy an apartment there for less. Well, it's like 8.5 million for 180 square meters. On Bluewaters, I remind you, it's 14. Well, we have options for 12 and 13. Well, on average, good apartments cost 14. It's more expensive. But here you have, it will again be a maid's room without a window, so you can't really use it as a full-fledged office. No one is going to sit in a room without a window, whether as a 3rd bedroom or as a nanny's area. Because of course it's a shame when people live without a window, and you can't really use it as a full-fledged room. Of course, you see that there's a master bathroom here, only the master bedroom has its own bathroom, while all the other bedrooms, you have the bathrooms across the hallway, and they're connected by a string, which is really strange. Because if you have people sitting in the living room, and suddenly you have kids or guests running through the hallway in their underwear, that's not really cool. Well, this is definitely a different class of living, just here. Here's another photo of Bluewaters. Swipe, and let's go. These are the cars of our residents. Here, of course, very wealthy people live. A lot of people from the Forbes list, well, I won't name names, but I personally sold to participants on the Forbes list, and of course many wealthy individuals, just entrepreneurs, officials, bankers, top managers. 3 vice presidents of major banks bought apartments here. I'll tell you more about the residence composition later. A 24-hour pharmacy, a huge pharmacy serving the entire area. Well, people come here from all the nearby neighborhoods, so I took a photo of how it looks inside. Any kind of medicine, cosmetics. There's also a small clinic where you can get tests done, like eye tests, blood tests, and consult with a doctor. So full-fledged clinics are still located in the city. It's about a 4 to 6 minute drive. You just drive out and there will be Saudi, German hospital, and so on. So there are no hospitals directly on the island. But the clinic for getting tests done and the full-fledged huge pharmacy, which is open 24 hours, is located on the island. Of course, it's hard to imagine something like that somewhere on the Palm. No one can. They just sit there in their residences on the Crescent, and there are no grocery stores or anything special. You have to drive everywhere or order deliveries. Here you really live. I run into him all the time. A friend of mine is walking, carrying full bags of food. from the store, buying groceries. I'm going to show you the store now. And I said, what are you doing? He says, yes, I have kids. I just went out for a walk to the store, and the couriers, you sit all the time, you need reasons. So that's his reason. He goes to the store to get water himself. That's the story. Yeah, it's a huge pharmacy, and you can even message them on WhatsApp for any medicine you need. In 4 to 5 minutes or in 10 minutes, they'll bring it to your home. So you're lying there feeling unwell, and what do? I wrote to the pharmacist, directly at the pharmacy. Many of them speak Russian and other languages. In Arabic and English, of course, everything. And they just, bam, bring any medicine right to your home. There's a Franprix store there, and it's open until midnight. It's a really cool store with lots of fresh vegetables, berries, fruits, and baked goods. And there I saw they were asking about the cafeteria. Please, our main cafeteria is Franprix. There are tables there, and inside there's a cafe with ready-made meals, grilled chicken, any salads, everything you want. Here's the cafeteria. The prices are lower than in any restaurant. I wanted to, so I bought ready-made meals and baked goods, some kind of bread. And there's all the stationery and all the household goods and so on. Barbershop, my favorite, blackjack. You see, by the way, here, besides haircuts for men, this is men's only. Yes, it exists. You see? On the right, there's a chair. It's a spa, a men's spa. You sit down, they give you a head massage. You take off your socks, dip your feet in, and they do a pedicure for you, cleaning your heels. In general, it's an absolutely amazing procedure. I occasionally, when I'm just bored or have nothing to do in the evening, there on Sunday I go, sit down, and they have hot water. They scrub your legs, clean everything, polish, and trim all the excess. And you just walk out feeling like you're in Paris. Of course, nearby, a beauty salon for girls. Guapa has opened up with all the same procedures just for the girls. Nearby, please, love my body. This is a massage salon with different types like lipo-lifting, lipo-drainage stuff, and so on. Please, it's all on the first floors in our residential area. Lipo-lifting, lipo-drainage pound stuff, and so on. Please, it's all on the first floors in our residential area. We've already left the mall. We came out from the restaurant cluster. This is what we have for residents on the first floors. Next is face only, which is a facial massage, cosmetology, and, well, a clinic where you can get masks, peels, and so on. Here, next comes permanent. This is also such a feminine one. A clinic where you can get makeup, eyebrows, tattooing, and something like that. I've never been there, so I don't know. Next to it is mediumed, which is professional cosmetology. By the way, they are located in Moscow City, and I actually know the founder. All sorts of things. Lasers, peels, fillers, BBL. Basically, weight loss. Everything that girls do, and probably guys too, can be done. A bunch of super modern equipment. They gave me a tour. I went down to the first floor, got myself, I don't know, well, the girls got some kind of polishing done, and then they went back up right away. You don't need to take any taxi. Next, we have a big clinic called Eisted. By the way, entrepreneurs from Russia opened it. They have a clinic in Barvika, in the center of Moscow. And so, Estet, they brought their entire dental laboratory here, including prosthetics, implants, and veneers. They do everything here. People come here to get treated, including getting their teeth fixed from other countries, because the dental technicians here are really great. Because the dental technicians are really great. I come here, I recently got a filling, and get a cleaning done. Bogdan comes here. They have excellent pediatric doctors, and they see patients here. So please, make use of it. Next, flower shop. Welcome. Next, gallery contemporary of contemporary art. Well, it's just beautiful. Sometimes I stop by to see something. I haven't bought anything there yet, but they occasionally have exhibitions, some social events. It just opened recently, literally at the end of the year. Guarantee this. There's a developmental center for kids there, and music rooms, and just plays. If you came with a child, you need to keep them occupied, so you can drop them off there. And there, he is under the supervision of teachers in English, Arabic, and Russian, and there are a bunch of toys there, so you can take care of your own things. The new children's center is in addition to Three House, and in addition to Rim Bombelia, which is more of a cafe restaurant. This is specifically an educational and developmental center. Next, there's the Forbes Bath House. Can you imagine? We have our own Russian bath. on the island with a 35-ton stove, just like the one that stands in Sandouni with pools and snow baths. In Sandouni, with pools and snow baths, and we occasionally just sit with the guys. All my friends live here on the island, and I say, let's go to the bathhouse, and we just go in the evening for some delicious kvass. They just make excellent kvass. People come just for the kvass and various salads. The bathhouse drink, there's also steaming. Please, scrubs. There are VIP areas. Yes, a separate, private steam room and a pool with ice-cold water. In general, it's just incredible. And then you just take your card, tap, and go up to your apartment, to your residence. You don't even have to go anywhere. Of course, Dubai is becoming a bathhouse cluster. This is on the first floor. By the way, there's a big terrace there. We also love to sit on the terrace with the guys after the bath in those hats, in bathrobes, and it's just cool by the sea here. Right now in Dubai, it's plus 15 to plus 18 in the evening. And if you want, even in a hoodie, I go out and you can feel the warmth of the body. Incredible. That was the infrastructure of Bluewaters Island. Do you want more restaurants? Remember, we already had 44 restaurants in our collection. But of course, we also have our own little leaves on the first floors. Bikerist is our favorite place for breakfast. And it was opened by guys from Kazakhstan, entrepreneurs Nurlan. Delicious desserts, pastries, and overall I'm about to finish up and go have lunch. Most likely I might drop by Bikerist. They have a full, cool menu for dinners, and there's a big terrace there. It's a really great place. Here, by the way, is the Bikerist Terrace. Yes, you can see what it looks like. Meat Central. I always have breakfast there at 8 in the morning. A lot of people are working. Everyone is coming down. Residents are chatting with each other. Hi. They sit down and have a little chat. People also come here for breakfast. And it's a full-fledged cafe, also, with a pastry shop, with desserts, with delicious pastries, and a full menu, including healthy food, meaning proper healthy food. Nearby, a Berber opened up, a Moroccan restaurant. I love it. They have this dish, NFC, chicken. That's chicken, avocado, and a vegetable salad with rice. Everything is served in different little plates. For those who love Moroccan cuisine, Moroccan tea, various kebabs, and so on. Keva. It's a restaurant. Uzbek. Originally, that was the only Uzbek restaurant. We used to go there. They also had a lot of great salads, tabbouleh, various delicious soups, lagman, everything you love about Uzbek cuisine. Right now there's also Zor, and we have 2 Uzbek cuisine restaurants. This is on the first floors in the residential area. Next to it is Madness Bar, which is for fans of hookahs and alcohol. They have parties and gatherings there. It's a very unconventional concept. Everyone walks around in masks, like in some horror movie. But there's also their own crowd there. There are enthusiasts. I'll line a new one. The cafe that is opening on the island right now. There used to be a cafe there, and now it's Lebanese cuisine as well. It's just a new format, and this cafe will open. I think it will be this spring, and that's it. Ta-da! Drum roll. 50 restaurants on one small island in the Persian Gulf. We had 44, and we added 6 more that are located in the residential part on the ground floors. Our residential buildings. And now you can see that there are 50 restaurants in one small location. I'm willing to bet there isn't a single project in Dubai on the first line with a luxurious 5-star hotel, with a luxurious beach, with the open sea, with a bunch of beach clubs, with such an availability of infrastructure, all sorts of bowling alleys, pharmacies, grocery stores, and so on. And where else can you do this? Living deliciously. This is an incredible place. But if you want more restaurants, there's a pedestrian bridge. And there, in 10 minutes, you find yourself in another giant restaurant cluster called The Beach. And this photo was taken from the terrace of my favorite restaurant, which is called Eat Greek. So, for example, yesterday we went to Grandma's. This is a Russian cuisine restaurant. We had pies there. The guys had beef stroganoff, a rich dish, delicious salads, and drank rosehip tea. We love going to Eat Greek. There's Zuzu nearby, along with a bunch of other amazing restaurants. Want seafood? Sure, lobster and hamster and so on. And there's also a cinema there that shows movies in Russian. Yeah, Roxy Cinema. And a little further down, there's another giant shopping mall. Marina said, you can get there by car or walk. I do that from time to time. A bunch of shops and restaurants. And all of this is a walk across the pedestrian bridge along the sea. You're enjoying it, and it takes you just about 15 minutes to walk to the location. And you have 50 restaurants all the way to the farthest one. The same OS at Anton Weiner's address, Uzbek restaurant. There's also Mod 32 there. Well, now let's talk a little about lifestyle. What's happening? Specifically in terms of neighborhood life and the unique features of the island, aside from all these cool things, cool layouts. An internal park, 2 hectares with pools, gyms, and a sea view with a walking promenade and a lively waterfront. This is, of course, a special community that has formed. So I wrote here that about half of them are from the CIS. The residents are Russian-speaking residents. Yeah, those who speak Russian. You can hear a lot of Russian speech here. Ukrainians, Kazakhs, Uzbeks, Armenians, and a wealthy Uzbek client bought apartments. 35% of residents are Europeans. Few Indians and Arabs prefer villas. 15% are various nationalities, including Syrians and Lebanese. An American doctor bought an apartment. I have one client, very wealthy people. We sold a lot to Europeans, so you see 35% of the island's residents are Europeans. There are practically no Indians here, and there are hardly any Arabs. They prefer villas and houses rather than apartments. So we have a bit of a mix, about 15% from different nationalities, for example, where a few Syrians and Lebanese live. I had an American doctor who bought an apartment. Recently I sold an apartment to a British guy and to a Swiss. So there's this mix of wealthy people here, and everyone is quite affluent. Recently, I sold an apartment to a British guy and to a Swiss. So there's this mix of wealthy people, and everyone is homogeneous. It seems like you can tell this person is from Waters, Resina. And it seems like you walk by and you can tell that this person is from Waters, Resina. Well, let me just show you what's going on here. Do you remember the electro store at the entrance to the island has bicycles, and they constantly hold bike races? Here are some photos from different bike races. I go out with Bogdan and we gather with the neighbors and leave at 9 in the morning on Sundays. We make a big loop around the marina, stop at a cafe, chat, and take photos during the bike ride with the neighbors. How often do you have events in your residences, in your locations? Next, family brunches. There are family brunches in the spring and fall. These are the grandmothers, yes, across the road from the island. We also walk there, of course, in different other locations. I was in Hrimbombela recently. It's also a little party. We have national holidays happening in the park. Yes, different national celebrations. This is Maslenitsa. By the way, you can see in the center of the photo, next to the girl in the kokoshnik is my son Bogdan. Can you imagine, in the center of Arab life, Russian culture is preserved. You can see how they celebrated Maslenitsa, making pancakes, with caviar, serving mulled wine for adults and tea for kids. They danced to Russian folk songs in the park among palm trees. Russian culture is preserved in this Arab life. And various fruit drinks. And they danced to Russian folk songs in the park among the palm trees. It's its own vibe. Yes, for example, Halloween, look at how we celebrated, and these are all the kids of the residents who are hanging out. Almost everyone spoke Russian. We had gestures, workshops, and Father Frost with the Snow Maiden. Kids dress up, make an effort, and receive gifts. Recently, we also had gestures, workshops, and Father Frost with the Snow Maiden. Everyone also spoke Russian. The kids dress up, make an effort, and everyone gets gifts. There are also different activities happening in the courtyards. There's a football section going on, and there's gymnastics. You see, for example, I took this photo. A coach comes to us, and if you have a child who is 3 to 4 years old or 5 years old, they can join. There are different groups, and it works out. You can work out here. We have a swimming coach who comes, and there used to be football. Yoga starts in spring, practiced in courtyards, parks, or private properties. So, there's yoga for both the girls and the guys from the neighborhood, and it starts in the spring. She leads it in the spring and fall. Right now it's just a bit chilly, and in the summer it's hot, so usually it starts in March or April. Everyone practices like this in the courtyard, in the park, on private property. By the way, here I am, you see, in a red t-shirt and shorts. That's me at yoga. I didn't even recognize myself at first, apparently. Someone took this photo. Yes, we have a great community. There's also a women's club where the girls get together. They invite different doctors, specialists, and psychologists separately, and they hold workshops there. This, for example, takes place at the restaurant Ikra. Yes, there's also such a restaurant on the island where fish and caviar. And there's also a book club. They also invite different authors and discuss their work. But there are also guys who come there too. Shoo! Well, here are gatherings with neighbors. These are picnics in the yard. You see some photos from our different gatherings. For parties with children, we spread out blankets in the best traditions, prepare a grill, barbecue, set up, tents, and tables are bursting with fruit, drinks, stronger, lighter. What people love, that's the real cool life when you have kids, when you have money, when you have freedom, and you can choose. More and more affluent people are choosing Bluewaters. Last year I sold 25 apartments, and the year before that 24 apartments, so that's quite a few deals. Every month, for example, in November I sold 7 apartments, and all these people are affluent, mostly Europeans and residents of the CIS, and of course, when you're in real estate, I'm not even talking about the drone show where everyone comes to the boats to watch the drone show. We just go out sometimes, some on the balcony and some down by the waterfront, and just enjoy it. Guests, parents, all friends come to visit us. Everyone dreams. We always keep 1 extra bedroom in the apartment for them to stay over. I want to buy a 4-bedroom place for myself now to move into an even bigger apartment because we have grandmothers, parents, everyone keeps coming here. They all want to live and hang out here. Here's another example. Bluewaters is the main area for fireworks. For every big holiday, thousands of people and boats gather here. And you see the fireworks. It's definitely an incredible lifestyle. If you're a broker, you have the opportunity to sell our apartments. Here you go. Please point your phone at this, or after you, my assistants will send out a table with the slots for the lectures. Scan the code for apartment info, layouts, photos, and videos. This is a Google Sheet where all the apartments are collected. It's constantly updated online. You can see all the layouts there, all the photos, and there are videos for each apartment, 3D tours, and so on. Please feel free to use it. Well, there's also the website bluewatersresidence.com. The main thing here is that all my apartments with photos are also uploaded on this site. There are no contacts there, no download links, and no capture forms. You can confidently send this to your clients if you're a broker, and they can take a look and choose what they want. Showing what else is important for brokers. You can do showings at any time. We have apartments available. You can do the showings yourself. Yes, it always smells good here. Music is playing. All the apartments are new. They haven't been rented out. No one has lived in them. You can also be sure that we don't need to put in a lot of effort for the deal. We can close the deal very quickly. We don't have any mortgages. All our documents are ready for the transaction, and there are no encumbrances, and so on. We also pay a market commission, and we often have promotions, so you can earn a reward from your buyer as well. And at the same time, from me, as the owner, of course, these guys are not, well, I mean, no one is refusing as a broker from the commission. We can pay you in any form, whether it's cash, crypto, or, well, an official bank transfer to your account. Please. Perfect for brokers, perfect for living, perfect for buyers. This lecture will be in English and Russian. Today it turned out we walked around the island for about an hour and 40 minutes. This is the island, a part of my life. I definitely understood that I like it here. The first apartment I ever bought was right here. And thank you for being with us today. Thank you for your attention. 300 or 400 people has passed during this webinar. Thank you